You know, for most funeral homes, the relationship with a family pretty much ends when the service is over. But what if it didn't have to? Today, we're going to explore a really powerful shift in thinking, how you can transform every single funeral from just a one-time event into a permanent, valuable asset that keeps working for your business, day in and day out. And this right here, this captures the entire shift perfectly. The old way is basically a dead end. Once the service is done, the opportunity is gone. But the new way, well, that's different. It takes that one event and turns it into a living, growing asset, what we call a perpetual marketing asset that can generate value for your business forever. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to pinpoint that big missed opportunity in the traditional model. Then we'll dive into the digital legacy solution and see how it can just explode your reach. From there, we'll talk about building a powerful digital portfolio, and finally, we'll wrap it all up to show you how this becomes an automated marketing engine. Okay, let's jump into section 1, the end of the relationship. We're going to start by really looking at this hidden opportunity that, honestly, most funeral homes don't even see. Every funeral director knows this scene. The service wraps up, the doors close, and that's kind of it. The relationship is basically over. It's treated like a finished transaction. But that exact moment is where the biggest, most untapped potential is just sitting there, waiting.
So this brings us to the big question, right? What if the end of the service was actually the beginning of something else? What if every single funeral you conduct could become a silent ambassador for your brand, automatically building trust and bringing in future referrals? That's the potential we're about to unlock.
Which brings us to section 2, the digital legacy solution. Okay, enough theory, let's get practical. This is exactly how you can turn that one-time service into an asset that works for you for the long haul. The absolute engine for this whole strategy is the digital memorial website. Now, this is way more than just an online obituary. I want you to think of it as the central hub that captures all the value of every service and transforms it into a permanent marketing asset for your funeral home. So, how does this actually work in practice? Let's get into section 3, amplify your reach and trust. Here, we're going to break down the nuts and bolts of how a simple memorial page becomes this powerful tool for organic word-of-mouth marketing. Just think about the scale here for a second. We are not talking about a few dozen views. A single memorial page can easily reach hundreds, sometimes even thousands of people in the community. That is a level of exposure that traditional advertising really struggles to compete with. And who are all these viewers? Well, it starts with the immediate family, of course, but then it just radiates outward. It goes to friends, colleagues, and then the wider community, all through social media. Every single one of those views is a quiet but incredibly powerful touchpoint, a positive impression of your brand and the quality of your care. What happens is this simple but amazing chain reaction. It all starts with you creating a beautiful tribute. But step 2 is the magic moment. The family shares it. That one act turns the memorial into digital word of mouth, showing off your compassionate work to their entire network, and, you guessed it, organically generating future leads. And here's what's so critical. When a family shares that link, it's not an ad, it's a personal endorsement. It is the most authentic social proof you can possibly get. They're essentially telling their entire network, this is a funeral home you can trust, and that message is worth more than any ad you could ever buy. Okay, now let's zoom out a bit. One page is great, but a whole collection of them? That's a total game changer. Welcome to section 4, building a digital portfolio. We'll see how all these individual memorials come together to showcase your value to every potential client out there. This is such a powerful way to reframe it. Stop thinking of it as just an obituary page. Instead, think of every single memorial you create as a permanent public case study, a showcase of your best work that's out there demonstrating your value 24/7. So imagine a family is looking you up online. What does this portfolio show them? It's not just a list of your services. It's real, tangible proof of how you treat families, of your high-quality presentation, your attention to detail. And over time, this collection builds an undeniable public reputation for excellence. And get this, you can actually supercharge this whole effect. When you offer premium features like video tributes or beautiful photo galleries, you're not just serving the family you're with right now. You're creating a richer, more engaging asset that they'll be even more proud of, which means they're way more likely to share it widely, and that directly multiplies your reach. All right, let's bring it all home.
In our final section, Section 5, we're putting all the pieces together into the perpetual marketing engine. This is where you see the true long-term business value of this entire strategy really come to life.
The most important thing to remember is this. We're not talking about a website feature. We're talking about a marketing engine. It's a system you build once for each family, and then it just runs, automatically, 24/7, silently building your brand and generating leads while you focus on what you do best, serving the next family. Let's just connect the dots here. This thing acts as a relationship builder, right? Creating an ongoing connection that leads to real brand loyalty. It's a lead generator because all those network shares turn into passive referrals. And it's a branding tool, building you a modern, trustworthy reputation online with all those high-quality pages. So what's the bottom line here? What does all this mean for your funeral home? Simple. You get to provide more value to families while at the same time you're extending your own visibility online. You start generating referrals passively without lifting a finger. And you firmly position yourself as the modern, caring choice in your community. So it all comes down to this one simple but really powerful question. Is the service you provide just a temporary memory for one family? Or is it a lasting legacy? One that not only honors the person who has passed, but also builds your legacy as a cornerstone of the community for years and years to come. Thanks for watching.